Right, Honorable Speaker, I want to begin by giving...
Weebale kubanga okyayekumidde ku mukutu gwaffe ogwa Deus Media UG. Kakati olunaku lwaleero nkuleetedde amawulire agagenda mu maaso eyo mu Parliament ku byogerwa ku Joel Ssenyonyi. Jjukira Joel Ssenyonyi ye MP wa Nakawa West ate ye leader of opposition mu Parliament myaka 39 ate nga tulaba nti General Muhoozi Kainerugaba ye leader wa PLU Patriotic League of Uganda. Kakati leader ono wa PLU General Muhoozi Kainerugaba myaka 52 ye CDF commander ate is the son of His Excellency General Yoweri. Ate tulaba nti avuddeyo n'agamba nti alina okugyawo Joel Ssenyonyi ku bwa leader of opposition ate nga alina omuntu gw'agenda okwendoosinga balonde kweyo entebe ya leader of opposition. Joel Ssenyonyi ebimuleetera okumujja kweyo position ya leader of opposition bakugamba nti walimu ebigambo ebisongovu byazenga ayogera ku CDF commander ono ng'amugamba nti oyina okuva ku maje nojja eno wansi mu politics netulaba engeri tusobola okikwasaganya. Kyenina okugamba mukwano atuuliriza essaawa eno bw'oba tonna subscribinga nkusaba soko subscribing, liking eno video etambulire ku speed ewaggulu nnyo tubeere nga tubikuwa byonna ate mu bujjuvu. Kakati mu Parliament Joel Ssenyonyi yasituka n'ayogera n'agamba nti akooye okulaba abantu nga babeera abducted oba babuzibwawo nga tebawozesebwa mu kooti ate abamu ne babatwala mu basement. Ebyo binyiza nnyo leader of opposition ono MP wa Nakawa West. Kakati Muhoozi bamupinipointingako nnyo nti abasinga abo ababula oba ababeera abducted basangibwa mu mikono ya General Muhoozi. Kakati ebyo byavaayo ne binyiza General Muhoozi Kainerugaba n'agamba nti ayina okumujja kweyo entebe eya leader of opposition. Ate ekirala bintu bingi abantu bazzenga babyogera. Joel Ssenyonyi azenga agamba nti General Muhoozi alina okwejjamu ebyo byayita nti awuliriza nnyo eddiini oba afollowinga Katonda, n'agamba nedda ebikolwa byakola tebiriimu wadde obwa Katonda. Kakati ezo ze zimu ku nsonga ezigenda okuleetera Joel Ssenyonyi Honorable okuva ku ntebe eya leader of opposition. Kati katuulireyo zino videos tutegeere kiki ekigenda mu maaso ku ground.
That had been abducted. The Vice President was present and the Prime Minister. Specifically, the Vice President said there's going to be follow-up on these issues. I did see correspondence. I received correspondence in my office from the Government Chief Whip. She wrote to the relevant ministers saying these issues have been raised. Please do follow up because Parliament will require a response. Right, Honourable Speaker, I thought that was a very good thing. Because it's not been happening, at least in the past. Never would I get feedback that the issues we have raised are being followed up on. So I want to appreciate the Government Chief Whip for that correspondence. now that you have clapped, I will be asking her, okay, now where are the responses? At least the correspondence came through. And I do appreciate that. I hope it continues to happen, so that when we raise issues, government takes them serious to the extent that it shows we are following up. Then we can bank on that to say where and how far have you gone with the follow-up. So Government Chief Whip, please keep that up. So now I want to ask, where is the response? I hope that that response comes through, because the Vice President promised us that Cabinet is going to sit and review this policy on medical interns. I got calls from some of them. They are meant to report either this week or next, thereabout, for their deployment, so they are still stuck. They don't know, will the facilitation come so they can get where to rent, plan, feeding, transport, and so on. I think it would be good that we get that response as well. The other, one of those issues that I raised was on the colleague, Honorable Margaret Etilu, the Amuria woman MP. Again, days later, she was released. And really, it wasn't just my voice. There were several voices in different fora that did come through, and our colleague was released. I interacted with her. It's good that she was released eventually, because in the first place, she should never have been detained that way, especially without the family knowing and so on. So we hope that now we can get feedback on the others. The other name that I raised was somebody called Christopher Godi, also known as King Zale. The Government Chief Whip captured that name. It's coming to 3 months. The family of that young man does not know his whereabouts. Lawyers are looking for him all over the place, and it is not known where he is. We need to stop these violations of the law, colleagues. So if the state is interested in anybody, and the state, as you have noticed, nowadays can pick on anyone of us. They pick interest in you, and so you have got to answer. So that can happen to any of us. But what we are saying, let the state do that within the law.
Ate kirala Ssenyonyi Joel ayongedde okulaga nti state yo bwe pickinga interest mu ggwe egenda kubanga ekukima bukimi nga teyise mu mateeka ate agateekebwawo Law Society nga bw'obitegeera. Ate ekirala yayogedde ku denial for bail application. Naye we appreciate that Dr. Miriam Matembe yafuna bail, naye abalala ba prisoners bazze nga babeera denied bail, and abalala balina imprisonment without trial. Ebyo byonna byogedde mu parliament. Ate zimu ku nsonga lwaki Muhoozi amutaddeko olugalo n'agamba ayina okuva ku leader of opposition mu parliament.
Another gentleman, Right Honorable Speaker, is a gentleman called Amos Lwangomani, who was detained in August of 2025. Again, his family has been looking for his whereabouts. Why doesn't the state produce these people in courts of law, so that they also have a chance to defend themselves? Because government, when you want to prefer charges against somebody, and it's possible somebody could have committed an offense, but give them chance to defend themselves. How? In a court of law. Can we ensure that we get to do these things?
Lord, can we conclude?
As I do wrap up, Right Honorable Speaker, again I want to implore government. There's been a lot of talk to begin disregarding bail for certain prisoners. I hope that especially the legal minds in government will advise against this. Bail, application for bail is a legal right in our constitution. Let us not scrap it. Let us not even think about that, because Article 28(3) of our constitution, the presumption of innocence, that's why somebody can show up in court and say, okay, now that I am innocent until court determines otherwise, let me be tried as I come from home. But if government now begins to moot the idea to say, for certain offenses we should scrap bail, you are judging this person guilty before court does. I really hope that colleagues in government will advise against this matter, because as we have seen now, any of us is a potential client for court and jail. So if you're produced in court tomorrow, you also want to exercise that right to say, let me apply for bail. But if they're saying, no, let's scrap it, all of us will be sufferers.
Ezo ze zimu ku nsonga Joel Ssenyonyi zaawaddeyo mu Parliament, ate nga olaba nti avumirira ekikola kya abduction. Abantu bangi for sure, political personnels ne freedom fighters have been abducted, ate nga tebaweereddwa court trials to exercise their rights oba okwerwanako. Maybe bali guilty oba tebali guilty, ate asabye state eveeyo ekulage engeri ensonga lwaki bano abantu bakwatibwa ne batwalwa mu kkomera instead of being detained. Kale General Muhoozi ebyo bye bimu ebimukwatako, byagamba nti nedda Ssenyonyi, va mu Parliament, vaayo, eyo tetukwagalayo. Kale ngenda kuba nkuddira mu video eddako. Sigala ku Deus Media UG, subscribing kweno YouTube channel, liking eno video, ate commenting. Thanks. Wherever.